It was 3 days without a Michigan football report video on this coaching search, but I didn't want to jump at every little internet rumor out there. I want to kind of dive in, talk to whoever I thought had anything credible to discuss before I brought you my latest thoughts following Wednesday's coaching hot board 1, Thursday's coaching hot board 2, and then just some stuff that we talked about in our Michigan football mailbag on Friday, which did a nice little audience here on the Michigan Football Report. Is Michigan prepping to land their man as soon as this weekend? We're going to talk about the latest around this coaching search as we are now in day 6. Now, Kalen DeBoer and Kenny Dillingham both addressed the rumors over the weekend. So I saw Jack on Friday, late afternoon, early evening, about 5 o'clock or so, 5:30. We're getting ready for the Chat Sports Christmas party. I'm like, Jack, Kenny Dillingham, 50% likelihood. And he said fake news. He said people fall for stuff, people betting markets. And then by the time we got to the Christmas party at, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, it kind of went down, right? It went right back down, was down as the number 2 option, I believe, by as early as Saturday morning. So those Dillingham rumors kind of hit a fever pitch on Friday, and through the weekend, he made like kind of a denial-ish. Kalen DeBoer did a denial-ish on Sunday, but here on Tuesday, Dillingham is now the favorite once again. We're going to show you the latest odds. We kind of consolidate them. All the prediction markets. You got Polymarket, you got Kalshi, you got Robinhood. I'll kind of show you the, we should call it, Jack, we should call it the MFR composite prediction market report. We're going to, we should have Arnold make a shirt for that. So Dillingham is the new favorite. But if you guys want more coaching search videos, bring you the latest news and rumors, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We added about 1,000 subscribers last week with the news of Sherrone Moore being fired. We want to keep these things rolling. More subscribers motivates us to do more videos because we know that you guys are liking what you see. So let's go to the MFR consolidated prediction markets. That is a patented and copywritten name. Kalen Dillingham across all the prediction markets, around a 30% favorite now here on December 16th, Tuesday night. We're filming this about 8:30 p.m. 30% likelihood to be the next coach. Now, this one surprised me, Jack. Jay Harbaugh jumped up to 21%. Jedd Fisch, who had been at 40% the last 2 or 3 days, drops down to 19%. Biff Poggi still up there. Kalen DeBoer take a step back. He's had multiple denials. Manny Diaz of Duke, which is a surprise. Jesse Minter, which I don't think is going to happen. And then Brian Dable, the former coach of the New York Giants. Now, I still think it's Dillingham or DeBoer, right? If you're looking at who are the top 2 candidates that Michigan is targeting, that they think they have a chance to get, that they are going to do everything they can to make being, the head coach that they don't see as what we call a fallback, it is Dillingham and DeBoer, and neither one has signed this rumored contract extension, right? Last week, the rumors were, Dillingham's about to, on Saturday, sign a contract extension. Hasn't happened yet. It's Tuesday night. And then DeBoer, over the weekend on Sunday, he puts out a denial, which we'll show you in a second, that he's happy at Alabama. Contract extension coming for him. But, look, if he loses this game on Friday to Oklahoma, that'll be back-to-back 4-loss seasons. I know 2 will be in the postseason, 10-2 regular season, SEC title game, and a college football playoff. But I don't think Alabama fans will be too happy if they extend him out, given they're used to being ranked number 1, number 2 in the country pretty much every single game of every single season that they play since 2008. Now, back Ohio State week, we had a offer for you guys. We said, hey, share this video, and we will give away a Bryce Underwood jersey. And unfortunately, we had some other conflicting priorities, didn't do a video the next week, and then the Sherrone Moore stuff dropped, so we were focused on that. But Jack and I pulled them, and this is from the first video, which was from November 26th, which I believe we published on that Wednesday of that week of the Ohio State-Michigan week. Had about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, let's just call it about 15, 16 people share it on Twitter, including Jack, my son, Preston. I told him about it. We have a Twitter account for him. I made him do it, even though he's got 1 follower who I think is me, but I just put Preston Yoder on that because I don't want anyone following him. We just kind of locked up the username if you get my draft. So, hey, if he wins, I might have to give him the jersey. So we've got, I think, all sizes still, but we will double check after that. And I will contact the person who wins this first one via the tweet they did sharing that first video from Wednesday, November 26th. Are we ready? So all you guys have your name on there. The 15 or so you did it. The other ones who did the second video from Friday, that'll come here in a few moments. We're going to give away 2 jerseys here. On your mark, get set, go. We are off to the races. It is the duck race. No. It is the Santa sleigh race. We've got who does that say there? We got Dark Matter Design, Mazed in Blue, Storm Drum, Aaron Swanson 33. We got Ashley Lawson, aka Flower Girl, Touch Your Toes, C Transio, I Miller, Levy Jank. We got our guy Strike 3 in here. I think I said C Transio. With 30 seconds left, Preston Yoder, Phil Moore, Stacy Jank, Dan Helmray 4763, and Michael Buck 818 is the crew with 20 seconds left. Dark Matter Design right there at the top. Storm Drum has taken the lead. 15 seconds left. Who is going to win this Bryce Underwood jersey? Hopefully he stays in Michigan. Hopefully he doesn't transfer, Jack. Storm Drum is in the lead. 5 seconds to go. Storm Drum, can he hold on? No, it is Aaron Swanson 33 at the end. Boom! Aaron Swanson, 33. Jack, make sure you Slack that to me. I'm just going to highlight him here in our script. Aaron Swanson, 33. You are a winner, and I will respond to you on Twitter to get your information and ship you off a Bryce Underwood jersey. We'll do one more of those in about 5-6 minutes here as we go into coaching search day 6. Michigan preparing to, find their man. I still think Kenny Dillingham is the backup choice. I don't see the backup, right? That's not plan B. Not plan B, Jack. None of that. All right, if you follow the jokes and what happened was released out there about a DoorDash driver and plan B and Sherrone Moore and the girl. I think there's 2 top candidates. It's DeBoer, it's Dillingham. Now, Dillingham, again today, for the second time in 4 days, had to address these rumors. He got multiple, like 5-6 questions on the Michigan job. And he said, I've got to do whatever I can to fight for those people, for my family, for everything. From that perspective, I love it here. I've said that since day one. So, Jack, do you want to jump on the mic? Because Jack is an Arizona State grad. I think he's Michigan guy first at this point. But what is your take on what Dillingham, how they lobbed it up to him? What didn't he do to satisfy an Arizona State super fan?
So they literally, the way that I interpret it from all the sources that I have and people that I follow on Arizona State Twitter, was they literally lobbed it up to Dillingham and were like, hey, there's a lot of fans in the Valley. There's a lot of ASU alumni that are really concerned that you're going to leave for Michigan. They didn't say that verbatim, but basically said, everyone's worried you're going to leave for Michigan. What can you tell those people? Like, can you say that you're going to stay, basically? That's how they lobbed it up, those questions. And then he said the quote that we just showed.
Didn't really say, Nick Saban back in 2006 or 7, Jack, I think it was 7. It was probably the 06 season, actually. He said something along the lines of, do you want me to go out and say it? I'm not going to be the Alabama coach, okay? Did I have to say it? I'm not going to be the Alabama coach when he was with the Dolphins. I think that's probably what they were looking for to say. I'm not going to be the Michigan coach. I'm not going to coach anywhere. And these guys have a way to do it. We'll say something like that. I'm here for everyone. I love the people here, etc. Kalen DeBoer kind of said something along the lines of I haven't talked to anybody from any other school and I don't plan to. Well, I don't plan to do a lot of things I end up doing. Well, plans changed. Michigan contacted me. At that time, I hadn't talked to him, but now I had. Now, Arizona State is playing the same day as Michigan on New Year's Eve. Michigan plays at 3 Eastern. Arizona State plays at 2 Eastern to the ACC runner-up, the ACC championship game loser in Duke, who could have beat who they play, or no, Duke. They won. I'm sorry, they won. I apologize. Who they play again? They played Virginia. That's right, Virginia. So they beat Virginia. So ACC champs. So not a bad game there. I will say this about Kenny Dillingham before we talk a little Kalen DeBoer, Jack. When Jim Harbaugh came to Michigan in 2015, I was salivating for the 2010 with sprinkles of the 2009 Stanford offense, right? Where they had maybe one of the best running games in the country. Toby Gerhart, Heisman runner-up in 2009. Then he went on to the NFL-ish. Andrew Luck, Heisman Trophy runner-up in 2010. And even in 2011, after Harbaugh left, they had a great passing game in 2010. Luck had 3,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. But they came off having the best running game the year before, and they blended it very well. And I watched 4 or 5 Arizona State games last year. Haven't watched as many this year, but I've watched probably three, the fourth quarter, second half of three, the ones I probably texted you about where either they're doing great or the tighter games. And it seems to me that Dillingham's offense, and he's been at Florida State as an OC and Oregon as an OC, and now the head coach at Arizona State. They had Sam Levitt last year, who's an NFL prospect quarterback still to this day, and Cam Scatterbo, who got drafted in the 4th or 5th round, but was one of the leading candidates for Rookie of the Year this year, reminds me a lot of what Harbaugh was doing back at Stanford in 2009 and 10, but I think better. I think they've got a better passing game at Arizona State with just as aggressive and just as successful of a running game as Harbaugh had back then. I don't think it's as good of a running game as Harbaugh had in 2022 and 23 with Michigan. Maybe it's 10% worse, but the passing game is so much more developed, so much more modern. And, this is the offensive coach, frankly, I think that Michigan has needed. Jack, you might not realize this, but go back to 1990, 91 through about 2007. There's like a 15, 16-year stretch where Michigan consistently had maybe the best and most modern passing game in all of college football. And the complaint would be fans was not that they didn't have the guys to do it, they didn't pass enough, right? They'd only pass 25 times a game, but it's like, oh my gosh, we've got this big arm quarterback. We've got these Braylon Edwards, and we got Desmond Howard. We've got Amani Toomer and Ty Streets and Mercury Hayes and David Terrell and all these guys who went on to be the NFL players and all conference players, but they only threw the ball 23, 24, 25 times a game, still kind of relied on the run at the end of it, which I'm fine with, which is kind of Michigan's identity, but there are certain times where you just need to pass the ball, especially when you have a potential generational talent like Bryce Underwood. Kalen DeBoer addressed speculation on Sunday, and, he put out what we call a denial of this job, which we will show you, but if you had to choose, if it was up to you, you had both guys ready to sign on the line, which is dotted to be the next Michigan football coach. If it was between Kalen DeBoer and Kenny Dillingham, both KDs, by the way, both KDs, which would you choose? Type Kalen, type Kenny. I think DeBoer is the 1A, Dillingham's the 1B. We're not going to call him backup. We're not going to call him, a second choice if he becomes the coach. I think just his experience is a little bit less. His age is a little bit younger than DeBoer. That's why DeBoer is just slightly higher, I believe, in the eyes of the decision makers for Michigan football. So go down and comment. DeBoer made the statement, my family and I are very happy in Tuscaloosa, remain grateful, yada, yada, yada. The opportunity in front of us, his sole focus on Alabama football and their preparation for Oklahoma in the college football playoff. I have not spoken or no interest in speaking to anyone else about any other job. I'm fully committed to this program. That's a statement. But it's still not, it still doesn't say I will absolutely not coach anywhere else ever again. I will absolutely not there. It's 90%, 95% of the way there, but I still think there is wiggle room. At the time I made the statement, I hadn't talked to anybody in Michigan. They did come and talk to me. We did lose to Oklahoma. Things changed. This is the best now for me and my family. And I do think that Michigan is probably going to wait to actually offer the job to either DeBoer or Dillingham. I think they probably made overtures to DeBoer. I believe at this point those have been rejected with the caveat of we've got a game to focus on. If that game doesn't go as planned, don't hesitate to reach out then. And so I think that we're going to learn a lot on Friday. So Alabama travels to Norman, which I think is a wonderful place to play a football game, wonderful place to experience a SEC, now SEC for 2 years environment. And they already lost to Oklahoma. So if they lose again, I think Michigan's going to be on the phone with him on Saturday, offering him a 6-year, $90 million contract and some NIL guarantees that we are going to talk about here based on the council here in a moment on the show. So our top targets are Kalen DeBoer of Alabama, Kenny Dillingham of Arizona State. Now, a lot of people have kind of poo-pooed and said, I don't want Jedd Fisch. Now some of the blog boys are trying to come out and insinuate that, Fisch has got some skeletons in his closet and Michigan can't go after him because of something unknown, maybe something similar to what Sherrone Moore is. I don't believe that for a second. I think Jedd Fisch is absolutely the third candidate in this group right here. I'm not sure if he'll get the offer if both those guys decline, but I have said for a while that he is potentially has very high odds, and the odds markets have backed me up. Now, before we continue on with this show, I did want to make sure you guys know that you have one more day to get Michigan football gear in your mailbox, ready to wrap for Christmas Day. And we've got 2 last-minute deals for you. The Jordan Brand Michigan football maize tea was $40, is now only $28. Chatsports.com/maize tea. I made it really simple for you. Go down to the description of the video, hit expand. You'll see a big block of text, and then second paragraph, link to that t-shirt, only $28. But I love this deal. I am buying these. I'm going to wear them to basketball practice, Jack, if I ever feel confident enough in the Michigan brand again. Normally wear maize ones to my son's basketball practice because we play with the players. We play. Now I'm going to get these blue ones because they're normally $85, only $60. Chatsports.com/mblueshorts. Chatsports.com/mblueshorts. If you buy today, if you buy by Wednesday and you pay, I think it's $5.95 in shipping, they will get it to you by the 24th in your mailbox. So go ahead and buy it today. Both those links right down in the description and the comments, but in the description, second paragraph. I either wait to see if Alabama loses. I really do. I think that Michigan is going to tell Dillingham's people, his representatives, whoever back channeling they're making right now, is that we're not going to, we're doing our diligence and all of our candidates. I don't think they're going to come out and say, we're waiting on DeBoer, because they don't want Dillingham to feel like he is the backup. They probably want to think like, hey, we need to get our ducks in a row. We need to put some, things in place to make sure you're comfortable with if this happens. But if they lose, if Alabama loses to Oklahoma, I think Michigan will be on the phone with him, maybe Zooming with him on Saturday, and they're going to put their best foot forward. Hey, this place isn't for you. This is the job you wanted 2 years ago. And, this year, you're going to go into next year on the hot seat. So do you want to be a fired coach, or do you want to be a guy who's got all the NIL support in the world and a fresh roster of soon-to-be true freshmen and two sophomores and redshirt sophomores to have for the next couple years and be successful versus going in next year with a fan base who hates you and wants to see you fired, which is what I think will happen if they lose for a second time this season to Oklahoma. So knowing all that, knowing that them losing, obviously, if they beat Oklahoma, DeBoer will not be Michigan's coach. I can firmly say that with no hesitation. If they lose, though, I think his odds go way up. And you're going to watch the prediction markets. Every time Oklahoma scores a touchdown, if they go in the lead, that DeBoer's odds are going to go right up. Who are you rooting for? I'm rooting for Oklahoma because I want Michigan to have the opportunity to get DeBoer if it's the guy that they want. Type A, type O down in the comments. So DeBoer's at 6% right now, okay? 6% odds. So keep that in mind. Look back on Friday. Look back during the game. Just Google Polymarket Michigan football coaching odds. Robinhood, Michigan football coaching odds. Kalshi, Kalshi, Michigan football coaching odds. You can track these along. I bookmarked all of them. I am tracking there. I am intrigued to see if Oklahoma's winning or when they win. I think those odds will go up. You should follow me on Twitter at James Yoder because I will be tweeting screenshots of that stuff all throughout the game. I've predicted Jedd Fisch, though, all along. I think right now, DeBoer, I just don't think he's going to play because I actually think Alabama's going to win that game. And even if he doesn't, I still think, it's just not going to happen. And the timing's not going to work out. He's going to feel like, oh, I've got something to prove here, whatever it is. I thought Fisch is the most obvious option. And so right now, as I'm sitting here at Tuesday night, 8:45 p.m., I think I'm 50-50 between Fisch and Dillingham as who will be the guy who accepts that job. Now, we've got the NIL Council. We're calling it the Council that's helping with this coaching search. But before we do, I want to do another Bryce Underwood jersey giveaway. This is from the second video we did, the video that went out the day before the Michigan-Ohio State game. November 28th is when we published that video. For this one, we got snowmen. So we got a little more in there, about 16, 17 people on this one as well that shared the video on Twitter. So let's do another Bryce Underwood jersey giveaway. Go ahead, Jack. We got strike 3, AKA. It's strike 3 with 4 threes. Steve, one of the your super chatters, gave us $200 super chat during the Sherrone More Live. Touch your toes. Casman Marie, Ashley Lawson, Michael Gura, Black Boy ABC, Kyle Catley, Mud Cat Lounge, as we have 34 seconds left. Noah Emerson, Jay Fresh 2, It's Prime 1, Jay Poletti, 0521, M.O. Davis, Tuck and Flint, B. Dub White, and Carla Duvall 7. 22 seconds left. We have got Nolan Emerson 98 out to a commanding lead over Jay Poletti 14, 13. Emerson still in the lead, but Catley, 85, can't remember the first name there, is pulling ahead. Catley is pulled ahead. 5 seconds left. Will Carla Duvall jump ahead? Carla Duvall. Chas Marie for the win at the end. Chasman Marie, I will DM you on Twitter. I will respond to your tweet. Where is that one? Chasman Marie, right there at the top of our list. I will send you a Bryce Underwood jersey, so I'm going to message you, get your size, get your address, and you will have a Bryce Underwood jersey. Now let's talk about the council. All right, Michigan has formed, according to a credible source of mine, a NIL/donor council, which, by the way, I've been told Dave Portnoy of Barstool has asked to be on via his relationship with the Ellisons, Jolyn Ellison, Michigan grad, 2013, Larry Ellison, her $400 billion net worth husband. It's giving input on candidates right now, but what will start to happen over the next 4 or 5 days is Michigan potentially could make an offer and have their candidate by Saturday, Sunday is, all right, this is our guy. We think he's going to offer the job. We're going to put this in front of him. We want him to take a couple hours over Zoom or maybe in person secretly, whether it's Dillingham or DeBoer, maybe somebody else, and say, what am I going to do as a donor that's supported the Bryce Underwood signing, that supported Michigan NIL, the top 6, 7, 10 people donating to this program? What are you going to do to make this coach's job better, easier, and keep Michigan at the forefront of college football? I like it. It's a lot better than just some rogue, AD going rogue on his own, and probably makes the coach, if he accepts it, much more comfortable going into that role, knowing the people that he's going to have to go to for money to pay for his roster in this new NIL era. Now, Jim Harbaugh was asked about the Michigan football job and whether he has any input into it, and it's related to the council here. He said, quote, today, "Nope, I'm not. All focus is on the Dallas Cowboys as the Chargers head to Dallas on Sunday, I should say, after J.J. McCarthy just went in there on Sunday, this past Sunday Night Football, so less than 7 days, 6 and 3/4 days apart. J.J. McCarthy goes and gets the win in AT&T Stadium against the Cowboys. Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers will try to do the same. Make sure you're subscribed to the Michigan Football Report, youtube.com/Michigan TV. More subs equals more videos. Go Blue.